Today we are focusing on Manipura Chakra, which is the Solar Plexus chakra. And although we're going through this series of classes where we're focusing on one chakra, we aren't exclusively working on that one area of the body because the whole body is holistic. So everything works together. But today's class is going to share a little bit of insights as to what is governed by Manipura Chakra, what things we can do in our everyday life to support this area of the body. And the main focus for this chakra in terms of what are we looking to add more of in our life is confidence, trust, listening to that belly brain, that belly voice, and decision making. We are going to be igniting the fire from within. So this is the sun chakra, but it's also the fire chakra. So we are going to take that little pilot light that is usually what most of us function in a space from, and we're going to turn that into a nice flame. So in my private sessions, I will have clients actually articulate that they feel this heat moving through their body. In yoga classes as well, we can generate that physical heat. And it isn't just warming for that moment, but it's actually bringing about transformation. We also focus on digestion, absorption, elimination, like so much stuff happens in this chakra. And for me personally, I have what I call a sensitive belly. So that also speaks to my character, right? So this sensitive belly issue is my body speaking to me around decisions, around confidence, et cetera, et cetera. So our body talks. So we're really learning to trust the voice. And again, how many times have we said, oh, I had a feeling, and then we never followed through on it. So we're going to move into a space where we start trusting that when we get these feelings, there's a reason for it. However, at the beginning, before you're really feeling more in alignment with this chakra, sometimes the mind and the belly and the heart are all kind of mixed up, and we're not really sure, can we trust this? So what I usually encourage people to do is to practice with smaller things. So for example, do I quit my job? That's a pretty massive decision that one might make. So we may not want to play with that kind of energy today, but maybe just in terms of feeling like, what do I want to eat? And oftentimes we get asked that question, oh, what would you like for dinner? Or where should we go out to eat or whatever? And we usually answer, oh, I don't know, I don't care, whatever. How about we step back and actually feel, what do I want? You know, maybe there is an ethnic cuisine that you don't play with at home and you want to try it when you go to a restaurant. So that's usually what I would do. When I eat out, I want to eat things I don't eat at home. And when I sometimes feel like I want something warm, I sometimes feel like I want something spicy. So practicing with food is always fun because we all eat. And again, this is one of the ways that our body speaks to us. Or there's maybe these little coincidences that have happened that you were thinking, oh, I should have brought my umbrella. And you didn't bring your umbrella because you were feeling, I don't know, maybe I'm being silly. The forecast said that it's going to be sunny, but something inside you was saying that you need to bring your umbrella, and then you go out, you didn't have your umbrella. So you can start playing and testing with things like that. So let's now uncross and recross our legs the opposite way, and let's bring our awareness into some alignment. So we're going to roll those shoulders down and back and place the shoulder blades in their sockets. Our hands can be resting on the knees or down by the side. We're going to tuck our chin in as if we're pressing our head up against the back of the wall, and that we're holding maybe a lemon or a grapefruit underneath our chin. Just depends, I guess, on the shape of your body and what's comfortable for you, but you're holding something there. We're going to feel that our vertebrae is stacked and that they're floating. When we sit for a while, oftentimes we tend to kind of slouch and curl. So I may bring you back to lengthening out that spine from time to time throughout the class. Again, rolling the shoulders down and back, placing their shoulder blades in their heart socket, in their sockets, and letting your heart shine. Closing your eyes slightly. And I want you to bring your awareness to the flow of the breath, the ebb and flow of the breath, what it's doing naturally. There's no need to change it at this moment. Just simply watch it. What is it doing? And are you able to really bring that breath into the depth of the pelvis, into that belly? Are you feeling that your belly is rising as you breathe in? And then if you could, with your finger, index finger, pressing on that belly button as if you're pushing the belly button towards the low spine. And then open the hand again, breathing in. And many people shallow breathe. They don't actually extend the belly. And most people, once we, usually between that transition between childhood and adolescence, we reverse the breath so that the breath goes in the belly goes in when we're inhaling and it goes out when we're exhaling. But what I'm asking you to do is to fill the belly like a balloon when you breathe in, and then to press that belly button in and back when you breathe out. So let's visualize a yellow balloon here that you're filling, this great, big, beautiful balloon. And then as you're exhaling, that balloon is gently deflating. And just like a real life balloon, as you know, the first time that we're trying to fill up that balloon, it feels like a bit of effort. But then once it's been stretched, then it's a lot easier to continue to fill it up and deflate it. So we'll do that a couple more times. And then we're going to change this breath into a breath of fire. And there are different ways of doing this breath, but for the sake of today's class, I'm going to make it a little bit easier for us. So I'll still encourage you to have that hand on the belly and then place the other hand on the chest. And what we're going to focus on is the exhale. So this breath really generates a lot of heat in the body. It could make you feel a little bit lightheaded. And because I'm not with you physically to support you, I am going to be very mindful of how we practice this breath. And then as you get more comfortable with it, you can ramp it up. And this is a really great breath to practice when you're feeling that you have, sore belly, if you're really nervous, if you've got butterflies in your belly, you have a presentation or a conversation to have. And even if you're feeling cold, it's a great way to rev up the body. So what we're going to do is focus on exhale, 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 exhale. And rest. So some of you are very experienced with this kind of breath technique and you can go on your own. And for those of you who are newer to it, we're going to inhale again. And for 10 rounds of exhale, focus on exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going to do this again. This time we're going to focus on 20 rounds. Big breath in and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Close your eyes. And you might even be seeing some kind of yellow, fiery type energy in front of your closed eyelids. You're hopefully feeling a little warm. And we're going to do this one last time. And if you want, instead of just placing your hand on your belly, you might want to take the finger to the belly button and really try to push it back. So we're focusing on that deep exhale and we're trying not to move the rest of our body, which is why I like us to put our hand here to remind us not to do this as we're breathing. So our last round of this breath of fire, 25 times. Big breath in and go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes, release your hands, palms up, smile on your face, and feel that beautiful energy moving through your body. Eyes open or eyes closed. Take the hands out to the side and inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. And one more. Inhale, big breath in. Fill that belly like a giant balloon. And exhale. Bringing the thumbs towards the chest and gazing at the fingertips. And let's offer this practice to an intention that supports our confidence, our trust, and our ability to make decisions that align with our path. Now we are going to extend the legs out. If you want to keep sitting on something, you may. If you want to take it away, you can do that too. I'm going to stay on my poof. So we're going to come into the right leg over the left and hugging the knee with the crease of the elbow. Press that right hip down. As you saw, our bodies tend to kind of lean to one side. And then we're going to pick up that right arm and place it back behind us. You can rest it on something or you can rest it on the floor. And if you'd like, you can turn your head back to look over your shoulder. Make sure that your shoulder isn't creeping up and that there is length through the spine as best you can. Now here we are in a twist position. It's a seated twist. I am going to look at you for two reasons. One, so that I can talk to you better. And also two, because I am not comfortable turning my head back. I realized it many years back that it just doesn't work for me. So sometimes we want to work through limitations in our body or find depth. And other times we don't. And then that's totally fine. This is your practice. So you do what you feel comfortable with. So twist positions, whether they're seated or reclined or standing, like all twists are great for kind of providing like a detox for the belly chakra. So it isn't really correct to say that yoga poses flush or detox the body because they don't really. But what this is doing is helping us to gently restrict the flow of blood so that when we release, we get that fresh surge of freshly oxygenated blood moving through the body. So in a way, it feels like a cleanse, so to speak. Now, it can be very difficult to get a full belly breath here for obvious reasons. So what you can do is your best to fill the belly. It isn't going to be as expansive as it was a few moments back. However, you're still going to work on bringing that belly breath into your practice. If you are feeling extra flexy bendy today and you want to take this leg and tuck it under, you can do that too. It's going to intensify the hip stretch here. However, this class, we're focusing more on the belly than we are on the hips. So you decide how you want to be positioned, but I'm going to demonstrate as I am. You're welcome to close your eyes. You're welcome to focus your eye gaze on something, or of course, you're welcome to look at the screen. And in a few moments, we're going to move ourselves over to this shape on the other side. And I have some sharings that I'd like to present to you around some foods that we can incorporate into our diet that will help with decision-making, confidence, and trust. So without moving the legs for now, let's open up, placing the elbow on the inside of that knee. And now allow that big belly breath to happen because now it's a lot easier because we're not twisting up all those organs and our body. Feel free to focus a lot on the exhale today, where you're really drawing that belly button in back with the intention of generating heat, bringing about transformation. And now let's make our way over to the other side. Same thing. We're going to hug this time the right elbow around the left knee. Draw that left hip down towards the mat, sitting nice and tall through the spine. that left arm comes up and behind us, and you can actually place it on something on the floor. You can look back or you can look forward. So I have on my yellow plate, which I'm very drawn to yellow. I have, I think, literally everything in that mustardy color. I have a sweater, I have purse, boots, shoes, jacket, like so many things in that color, been drawn to over the years. So that's my, when I'm drawn to that color, to wear that color, it's my intuition asking for that support. So if you like mustard as well too, then, bring that color into your lives, a scarf, gloves, a blanket, a pillow, just bring any shades of yellow into your world. But here today on my tray, I have chamomile tea, which is a great way to help support that Manipura Chakra, as well as dandelion tea. So chamomile, as you may know, is very soothing and calming, and it's great for digestion. So a lot of times we're having belly discomfort because we are struggling with confidence, we are struggling with decisions. So chamomile is a really gentle way to bring in that relief for the belly. Therefore, we are able to absorb and eliminate better. And of course, it's also very calming, so it's great for sleep. Dandelion tea. So I actually would much prefer that you get real dandelion leaves, like either from your garden or buy them from the store. The tea doesn't really have this potency. Sorry about that, got a call coming in. The tea doesn't have the same potency, but it is still helpful. And this can sort of act like a tonic. So as you know, dandelion is kind of bitter. So having these bitter leaves is really like having bitter foods is just so important to help cleanse the body and relieve the body of these impurities. And then the dandelion itself, there's a lot that you can do with it. So you can just go online and Google some ideas of what to do with dandelion flowers. And thankfully, most of us are stepping away from the idea of using that awful spray to kill dandelions. We need them. Now, I also have here some mustard, which is such a great addition to so many different foods. Like you can put it on your sandwich. I love to add mustard to my salad dressings. Mustard is so wonderful, and you can use it in the prepared, it's not liquid, whatever we call this form, or you could use mustard powder or mustard seeds. So I also love to use mustard seeds in my stir fries and curries. And the mustard seed is also part of my Francesca's spice mix. So if you ever want that, just let me know and I'll send you the link. There's also ginger, which is really, really helpful again for the belly chakra. Ginger oil, which this is the powder version, but I have ginger oil that I use in clinic or, even for myself. And that's the oil of empowerment. So adding ginger to your food helps with that empowerment piece, that confidence piece, helps, of course, with digestion, and it's also quite warming. So if you're like me and feel cold all the time, it's great to have ginger to have that warmth in the food. And you can use ginger in so many different recipes. Also, this is part of my Francesca spice mix. And then we also have turmeric, and I think most people are quite familiar with the healing benefits of turmeric. It's great as an anti-inflammatory, and it has a whole slew of other benefits in the body. And this is also part of my spice mix, but you can buy these and just make your own mixes as well too. And turmeric can be added to curries. It could be added to shakes. There is the powder form, and then I also have the oil form as well. So for those of you who don't know, I have a degree in nutrition, and for many years practiced exclusively in the world of nutrition, and then I have since gone on and have my sharings in many different areas. So let's let's keep the leg there and just open up to the other side. And now practice that deep belly breathing. So I still very firmly believe that at the root of my practice and the root of my own health and all the offerings is we are what we eat. So we cannot expect this body, to function optimally and to feel great. And we cannot ask to be in alignment if we're not feeding the body what it needs. So as the nutrition industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, I know it can be very confusing. There's lots of conflicting views around what healthy eating looks like, but I like to stick to the basics: variety and moderation, things in their most natural state as much as possible, eating from home, staying away from processed foods, all of that. And because digestion is so important, we really do need to be careful of what we're putting in our body. And there has been, in recent times, a lot of energy put into the belly connection and mental health. And as we know, the mental health crisis is increasing, and each of us is becoming a little bit more aware of our own mental health. So just like, we used to go to the dentist for our oral health, we now have incorporated our mental health needs in a way that feels, air quoted, normal, right? So we're all aware that our mental health needs have to be addressed, and we need to support our body. So when we're talking about nutrition and what we eat, I'm not just saying, because, we all want to fit in our size 2 pants. This really has to do with the overall functioning of the body. So remember, you are what you eat. So now I'm going to invite you to hop off your pillow and make your way onto your back. And we're going to pick up our shins, our knees, and have the shins parallel to the floor. We'll take our hands to our thighs and press our knees away from us, keeping those shins parallel to the floor. Keep pushing the knees away so much that now you can't touch. Come back just to the point where you can touch. Check in that the natural arch of your back is still there and that there's no pain or discomfort. And then we're going to bring the knees all the way in, and that tailbone is going to pop off the floor. That means we've gone too far. So we're going to lower so that the tailbone is back down on the mat. Shins parallel still to the floor. And we're going to push the knees away and draw them back. Push the knees away and draw them back. You should feel that the belly muscles are being worked. When we work on our core strength, it is helping the core of our bodies. Again, that confident space. It's also helping our back health. And low back discomfort, especially SI-related things, are often, again, to do with confidence, trust, decision-making, all Manipura stuff. Now, sometimes, these things that we feel physically are physiological, like if you slip and fell on the stairs or something, right? Like there is obviously a physiological component, but a lot of times what we're feeling in our body is because of the energy blocks or congestion, because I don't really like to say that there's actually really a block. It's more of a congestion. Now we're going to change this up slightly and make it a little bit of brain gym. So the left leg is going to go out while the right arm goes back, straightening it all the way, letting it hover and come back to center. Pushing that leg away, straighten it, left arm goes back and come back to center. So we'll do a few more of these, one side then the other. If you need to let the foot find the floor for a little bit of a reprieve, go ahead. We're not going to do too many. And we are keeping our head down on the floor so that we're not straining the neck. But if you are feeling really strong and you're familiar with this, then please go ahead and modify it on your own. And then We're going to hug those knees in towards the chest and just rock a little from side to side. And now we are going to move into a reclining twist. So we did a seated twist. Now we're going to do a reclining twist, which is one of my favorite things in the whole world to do. So let's plant that right foot, knee bent, and then cross the left leg on top, like you're crossing your legs when you're sitting on a chair. You're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh and let the knees come down to the right. You might want to have your blanket or pillow under the knees. That is going to make this shape a little bit more restorative. And you might not be comfortable with your legs so tightly placed together. So if you want to spread them out, go right ahead. It's not a problem. And taking your eye gaze over towards the left hand and having the arms stretched out to the side is another idea. This shape is really, really good for the whole body, basically stretch. It's super supportive of all the chakras. However, today, like I said, our focus is on that Manipura Chakra. So do whatever feels comfortable for you and bring the awareness of this into the belly, doing your best again to breathe. Some other ideas for supporting your body with nourishment are, of course, to add yellow foods, not just the spices and whatnot that I shared earlier, but for example, yellow peppers, a yellow apple, some yellow plums, bananas, and just adding that pop of color to your food. And then I also love the idea of, rainbow shopping and rainbow plates. So when you do your weekly shopping, you take a peek in your basket and you say, do I have different colors here? Is there something red and orange and blue and green, purple, right? We want to get the variety of colors, because if we're getting the variety of colors, we are getting all of our micronutrients, our antioxidants and phytonutrients. Nature just magically makes that work. And then rainbow plates would be, again, to take that same kind of idea and make your foods colorful and look pretty. And I am very much a visual person. I love the look of food. I love how I present it on the plate. And I really love even the dinnerware that I use. It's really important to me to be eating from a dish that feels good. And so I think I shared with you last time that I have some pottery that a friend of mine made that I most often eat my meals off of. And I don't, do the style of like really fine dining and, take 100 years to prepare the plate. I just find ways to really quickly make things look good. And sometimes it's just, a sprinkle of cilantro on top, or basil or parsley or something like that. Maybe a cut of cherry tomato, little things that make the food look good. Changing the shapes of your food, some things in cubes, some things in slices, some things in chunks, and that just adds the variety. Now let's come back to center and do this exact same thing on the other side. So we plant that left foot, cross the right leg over, and let the knees fall to the left, taking the right arm out to the side. Now, as this is also our sun chakra, and where I am living in Ontario, today is not very super sunny, but it's a little better than it was yesterday. So we do want to spend time in the sun. And when the sun isn't out, we can create the idea of the warmth of the sun by doing things like the breath work and eating all these foods. But whenever there is sunshine, do take your 20 minutes to ensure that you are in the sun and wearing, the appropriate clothing, whether that be sunscreen or a hat or long sleeves. I have a couple of friends who, when they address me, they use the language, hello, sunshine. And every time they do that, it just really lights my heart. Just makes me feel so warm and fuzzy. So maybe you might want to start doing that, adding like a little sun emoji to the text messages you send, or start using that language, hello, sunshine, if it feels right for you. And spreading a little extra cheer and joy. I also wanted to share with you what the limiting emotion of Manipura Chakra is, and that's shame. So again, if we have belly issues or any kind of low back discomfort, that could be connected to the emotion of shame. And all of the limiting emotions are so heavy and so strong, and they are normal, right? It is okay to have these limiting emotions. However, we want to use the element of the feeling of shame in a way that supports us and not restricts us or limits us. So these limiting emotions like fear and shame and guilt, to an extent, they keep our integrity in check. They keep us, as functioning, healthy members of society. But there's the over and the underactive chakra. So we want that element of shame to be somewhere where it's supporting us, not that we are consumed by shame, not that we are limited in our ability to be happy and aligned because of shame. So any of this that I'm sharing with you that does not make sense to you, you can either find the answer by asking me, come back to center, hug the knees again and rock from side to side, doing private sessions. And of course, the chakra alignment course was designed for all of you to have that support so that you can take these classes and the teachings and feel more empowered to integrate all of this into your world. So I'm going to ask you now to plant the feet with the knees touching. Put your hands on your belly, or hand on heart, hand on belly. A smile on your heart and a smile on your face. And bring your awareness back to your breath. The rise and fall of the belly. The gentle pressing of the belly button into the low back. Visualizing that yellow balloon. Filling the balloon. And deflating the balloon. This is our feeling chakra. Our mantra can be as simple as I feel. I feel. I feel. And giving yourself permission to feel a range of emotions. You are allowed to feel angry and sad and frustrated. You're allowed to feel happy and blissful, confident, courageous. And I slowly invite you to make your way up to seated. Legs crossed once again. Letting your hands rest on the knees or rest on the heart or in prayer. And the last little piece that I wanted to share with you around this chakra is that we have generally been raised that if we are confident, that we are being conceited, that if we are taking care of ourselves, that we're being selfish. And many times, as a woman, I've heard over the years, women not wanting to work with women because there's just so much drama and conflict. However, the bulk of my world is spent working with women, and I absolutely love it. And the women that I have come across are incredible, beautiful, smart, creative. And what I'm attracted to most about all the people that I have in my life, which are a lot, which I'm so blessed for, is their confidence. I am so attracted to confidence. And so we draw in the type of energy that aligns with us. So maybe right now your circle is not encouraging you to be the best version of you, to shine and to celebrate your successes. And you'll notice that as you start to come more in alignment with yourself, your group and your surroundings might change. And that's good, because we want people in our world who encourage us to be the best versions of ourselves. And we all have areas in our life where we are not feeling as confident, me included. So I use the areas that I feel really strong in, and I put myself out there. That energy helps to fuel me and get me through those things that I'm a little bit more challenged by. So this isn't about 100% confidence in everything that we do all the time. This is about starting to play with the energy of confidence and noticing how when we feel our power, life is a little easier. So reminding you of my mission statement for everything that I offer is to support you to feel empowered, to navigate life's adversities with more ease and grace, and let love, light, and joy flow through you. So pick 2 or 3 areas of your life or interests that you want to really let the confidence piece of you shine. And notice how when you shine and share your most innate gifts, the people that you love and care for also reap the benefits of those rewards. So start celebrating you, know that it's okay, and encourage the people that you love and care for to celebrate themselves. Share compliments, receive compliments. Start practicing if you're not already doing it. And then just like everything else, once the ball starts rolling, it gets a little easier and it gets a little bit more comfortable. And that, my friends, is your share today on Manipura Chakra. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. And this video is on the YouTube channel as well. So you can come back and revisit it and play with Manipura Chakra whenever you like. If you need anything, you know where to find me, francescabonta.com. Reach out by phone, by email, or social media as well. And love and light, my friends. Namaste.